Hello, folks. Let me make sure I get my mute. Hello, Claire.
Hello, JC.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not. But me and Charlie's gonna have some words, man.
Okay.
Charlie done me in.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had to get the mute there.
Oh yeah. Oh girl. You know what? I don't even open it anymore. I only do the chat. But
yeah, I gotta figure all that out. As I was telling you earlier, I don't know what it is on the nights that I'm doing Black Mirror, not the nights that it's on your channel, but I have technology difficulties, and I feel like Charlie is messing with both of us. I feel like he's listening into our conversations and he just wants to mess with us. So, hey, everyone. Hey, Peter. We said hello. Peter was the winner tonight. He wins the grand prize of being first. So
he did. What is the grand prize? What does Peter get? I said it's winner, chicken dinner. Oh, he just gets to be first. You just get to be first, Peter.
Just bragging
that's
rights.
it. That's it. Just brag. Peter's got bragging rights. There you go.
Oh hey, always grateful. I just waved.
Yeah, you know what? I do that behind the avatar all the time. I'm like, yo, got my hand up in the air. Here I am, waving at you. You know, I'll be winking, I'll be kissing, I'll be doing all this. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. They don't care. They don't give a shit.
I crack myself up.
It's like, I know. Mrs. Cassandra copied my little quote there. She said, "Mod BB." I've started a riot already for you. You're gonna be so sorry. I know, right? See, I decided to do a series with you, and I cause all kinds of havoc. All kinds of havoc.
You know, there's only mayhem on your channel, not mine.
No, there's some. You know, I don't know. I'm so looking forward to mayhem on Saturday. I am.
It's gonna be fun.
It's only Wednesday, and I'm there. Like, if I'm there now, can you imagine what Saturday's gonna be like? Oh my God, I can't. I am definitely looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. Yes, Nikki, Claire did just call me a bee. She absolutely did.
I did. It's short for boo. It's short for boo. Like I call Lacey my boo. It's short for boo, but I couldn't type boo because then Lacey would be jealous.
Pronounce my channel name correctly, so that's what.
It's the safe
she can
way
only
out.
Do letters. She can't do words.
You know me too well.
JCP.
This is our serious series. We're not supposed to be cracking up like this. Like this is where we're supposed to be like serious and succinct.
I'm supposed to real serious.
It is. All right, I'm gonna pull it down a notch, and I'm gonna give y'all what for about this episode, because let me tell you, Charlie did the big old mind F on me. I'm telling you, Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie, I love Charlie, but I can't think of a nice word to say about Charlie
maybe just a letter. Maybe just call him B. You never know.
Okay, can I call Charlie Charlie D? Charlie B. And it's not your initial for your last name. What?
Maybe even D.
D? Charlie DB? Yes. This is not Saturday. Stop. Now you're going to get me out of control. All right, just for that. Okay. Yes, he did. He went on kindergarten on this. He really did it. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I can't. I haven't stopped thinking about it. That's the problem.
I don't know who Kierkegaard?
Think avant-garde.
In terms of pronouncing it, or
in everything. It's a mind thing. It's like he just met us seriously. She will explain it for you, because she's very good at that. While she does that, I'm gonna tell you about this episode for those of you who did not see it and just would like to know a little bit about what we're going to be complaining about here, like rampantly. White Christmas was an episode from 2014, I believe. It is from.
That long ago.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Yep. And it explores 3 stories, okay? And the main character, played by John Hamm, I believe his name was Matt. And John Hamm's a great actor. I love John Hamm.
Yes.
John Hamm played a
Mhm.
complete asshole in this
Very much
movie, in
so.
this series. And I almost didn't like John Hamm because that's how good an actor it is. He made me hate his guts. I did not like this man. It was the acting was great.
That's
Okay.
when you know it's
And
good, is when
that's
you
when you
hate
know it's
someone you normally love.
right. And John Hamm's great. It has another character, Joe. And Joe and Matt are in a cabin on Christmas Day. Okay. And they're trying to, get to know each other. Like John Hamm's playing up like you never talk, blah, 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 Joe, let's
In
just have a
5
little
years.
conversation. You've been here forever. It's like desolate. It's snowing out like a blizzard, all isolated. So Matt starts to get Joe to talk. And he starts to get him to talk by telling a little story about himself. So he tells about a Christmas party, an office party, where he's trying to get a young guy, a real, like, nerdy, unexperienced, I would say, gentleman, to
Right.
hook up with someone at an office party. And they're doing it with mics and they're doing it with modern technology, with laptops and stuff, spy gear. And he's doing the old Cyrano de Bergerac routine and telling him what to say and what to do, but in a really cheesy pickup kind of mess with her mind kind of way.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Right. And not a good character because as he tells him that everything's private, because of course the girl, they hook up with the only psycho babe in the whole place.
Yeah, she turns out to be quite a peach.
And why they didn't see crazy in her eyes, I have no idea. Because as soon as they panned to her, I went, "There's some crazy,"
That's hilarious because, especially as a teenager in the 90s, that's pretty much exactly what I look like. So,
oh no, I'm so sorry. Nothing personal meant by that, JC, at all. But that girl had crazy eyes. I am so sorry.
Yet. I have not poisoned anyone yet.
Well, there you go. But that's what ends up happening. She's a bit crazy, sets it up. We find out that John Hamm is in a bit of trouble because not only is he telling this kid that it's all private between him and the girl and him, like they're the only ones, and he's going to turn the camera away. He pans over to his other laptop, his other big screen, and there's like 8 little dweebs over there watching everything. And it's like a whole club of, they all get to watch each other as they get their first conquest or whatever.
To be able to watch,
they pay to be in this club and watch each other get
Weird
their first.
in and of itself.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. And anyway, John Hamm, who I don't like anymore, Mr. Matt, is now, he's the ringleader of this thing. This is his business. This is what he does. He psychologically messes with people to try to get them to do things. Like he thinks he's this brilliant little, I can convince anybody of anything kind of person.
Right.
And so, long story short, Crazy Eyes ends up poisoning,
AKA me,
the guy. Yeah, JC poisons the guy, and John Hamm, is in trouble. Of course, he just packs everything up, throws it out. His wife finds out because apparently he's such a good guy that he's doing this all in secret in a closet somewhere. Nobody even knows he does this for a living. He's making this money,
right? Yeah,
right. And he's like,
right,
because he steps on a child's toy going down the stairs, and this is how he gets caught because she finds out, and she had some words about it. Oh, and her name was Claire. Claire riffed Matt a new asshole. Yes, she said, "You know what, John, I love you, but this ain't cool." Divorce. Okay, and took the kid, and there you go. So that was his part of the story, and he opens up, and then it goes into Joe's part of the story, who is very obsessed over an ex-fiance. It starts out showing their little love story together, and it starts in a karaoke bar. And from his perception, they love each other. Everything's great. They get along wonderful. Everything's like so cool. Easter egg time, the song that she sings in the
Mhm.
karaoke bar is from 15 Million Credits, the song
Yes.
that the other one sang up on the stage. There you go. Are you proud of me? Are you
I
proud of me
am.
always? Yay.
I'm proud, and
I,
I noticed it too,
mm,
and I'm trying to pay more attention to the words too, because is that not the song "Always Grateful" that you said is about? He used it as Charlie did, symbolizing the relationship that we have with technology. If you think about
mm-hmm,
it like that, like you can use me,
mm-hmm,
abuse me, put me down, but I'll always be there for you, or
mm-hmm.
something like that. Kind of crazy. This is Cassandra
Yep.
being silly up in here.
Mm. But always is also always reminding me that they also, Claire blocked Matt, the husband, when she didn't want to discuss it for him anymore because it was absolutely disgusting that he was running a voyeuristic club like this. And there's a way to block in this technology where you push a button and the person standing right in front of you. This is the only really cool part that I liked, sort
Right.
of, was that they disappear. They become like a white shape. You don't
You
see
can't
them
hear them
anymore. And they can't, and you can't hear them. They sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, wah, 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 like the
because
whole time.
John Hamm's character, when he was getting in an argument with his wife about, what he was doing, the online,
Mm-hmm,
helping people hook up with people,
mm-hmm,
um, she just muted him. Like, nope,
mm-hmm.
I'm not arguing about this right now. I'm putting you on block. But you're
Right.
technically able to unblock the person as well.
You are willingly able to if there's no legal thing involved yet, and we're
Correct.
going to get to the really
We
fun parts.
are.
Yeah, and I'm sorry this has taken so long, but it is really involved layer story, and this is why I'm so upset with Charlie, because he messed with my head the whole time, not just the
Yeah.
beginning, not just at this part,
There was a
but
lot of
later and
different
more and
stories,
more. He
right?
just keeps, yeah, he just kept doing it to me. This is not right, Charlie. We're gonna have words. Anyway, we get to John Hamm's wife, we see the new technology where they can block each other, and he's like, don't you block me, don't you block me, and she
And she
blocks him,
does it.
and she walks out, and there you go, and the end of conversation. What a way to win a fight. Anyway, there's nothing you can do. You can't do anything until they willingly unblock you, kind of like Twitter. Kind of like YouTube,
Right?
only better, like
Because there's
I
no
want
way
one
to
of
get
these.
around the block with
There's
this.
no way to get around the block with this one. You can't get another account. You can't be another you, or can you? Well, here we
Mhm.
go. Here we go. So now we're at him, Joe, the other guy in the cabin, telling the story about him and his girlfriend. And he thinks everything is just great. And here you go. She is drinking really heavily at a dinner party, and he finds a pregnancy stick in the garbage. I'm going to make this really quick. She doesn't want to have the baby. That's why she drank all night.
Right.
He gets really upset because she won't talk about it. He's all very happy because he thinks they're so much in love. She's really, really bummed out about it, really sad. She's
She
got
does
this
not
terrible
want to
look.
have the kid at all.
Like she just keeps saying she can't, and it's awful. And she won't explain or talk to him. They're not really having a conversation.
Because
It's
we
more
all
like,
think
no.
that, for one, this reminded me of all your streams that you have about "Am I the asshole?" Like, all of this
Mm-hmm.
boils down to you should have just had a conversation. That's what
You
I kept
should have
thinking.
just, right,
And then the
exactly.
second thing is it at least appeared, because it seemed like he had a little bit of a drinking problem, right? Kind of like "Always
Yeah.
Grateful" said earlier, that song that you mentioned, that was also in 15 Million Merits about the
Mm-hmm.
relationship with technology.
Yep.
Clever as he is, and clever as always is, points out that she was singing that during the karaoke because the song's about a bad relationship, which
Exactly.
is what they had. So it wasn't just about the
Yeah.
technology at that point. It was also about their relationship, because he was
It
getting
was because he
inebriated,
thinks,
out of control.
right,
So
and
we
he
all
thinks
assume that's
everything's
why.
fine. It was such a
Yes.
disconnect because his perception of it, because right now he's telling his part of it and everything looks fine until they start talking about this baby and she won't even discuss it. He gets mad, throws a vase, she blocks him. Never speaks to him again ever. He goes through the whole stalking,
Leaves his
following,
job, puts him
log,
in notice,
right,
doesn't even
puts
say
in
anything to her.
nope, everything. She blocked him and carried on with her life like he never existed. Because technically, when you're blocked, you're just this big white thing and you don't exist. Oh, and here's the really cool part. Every single picture that they have of you
Yes,
disappears.
wasn't that weird?
They're
Well,
not even allowed to know you anymore. Like, they don't even get to look at a picture of you anymore. If you block somebody, you can erase yourself from their life. Like, I want this button so bad the last 2 weeks. Like, you have no idea. Like, I think that's why I'm having issues with Charlie. He just dangled that unbelievable carrot in front of me and just took it away because it's
you're
not real.
mad not
Yeah, man.
because of the episode, but you're mad because you can't have this feature. He created a feature
Yeah. I am mad because there are
that you can't
mofos
use.
walking around YouTube and Twitter right now that I want obliterated. Yes, that's
Right?
why exactly. I'll own up to it. I want that button. Yeah. All right.
It's just
That button.
way too tempting.
It was way too tempting. And so he's blocked. He runs into her accidentally on the street. Now he can only see the shape of her, but he recognizes the shape of her.
And remember, she said she did not want to have
a baby.
Nope.
And there she is, and the shape of her is very 9 months pregnant, like gonna have a baby like any minute.
Oh, yeah.
And he's shocked. So he starts stalking her more and he doesn't understand. And he follows her to her dad's house and he watches the child, finds out that it's a girl, blah, 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 does all of this. He has not moved on. It's 6 years down the road, right? 5, 6 years. And
Yes,
he
I
has
would say
not
about that.
moved on. He has not moved on at all. He's telling the story to this Matt character, John Hamm.
Right. Where
And
they
he's
were in the
telling him,
beginning scenes, they're talking, discussing. And when this all opens, it's on Christmas Day, and the significance of the story of, what is the second person's character name?
Joe,
the one who has the pregnant girlfriend. So when they first started, or when they were dating, when they find out she's pregnant, whatever, it shows them at her father's house,
a cabin in the woods.
They spend she spends every Christmas with her father at that cabin. So again, you kind of see this reoccurring theme of Christmas. Oh, yes, possibly Black Box.
And all the snow, everything. The same thing you're seeing from the outside windows of the where they are together, Matt and Joe, talking at a kitchen table. You see the cabin. You can only see the outside of it so far. But story goes that Joe goes every Christmas and watches, the little girl show up and gets a glimpse of his ex-girlfriend every year. And then one year he decides to leave a little gift and the girl comes and grabs the little gift. And then the next year, do you want to tell the sad part? No.
Oh, so when the girlfriend, he's sitting watching television one day, and I kind of want to pull this up real quick too. I was kind of clicking around. So he's sitting on his couch. I think this is when he was looking at pictures of his old girlfriend, is it not? But he can't really see her. And then on the news comes up with some tragedy happens and some people have passed on, and up comes her picture. So she's passed away. And Claire was mentioning before too that, with the husband and wife, when they were arguing, the wife could block the gentleman or her husband, and she had control of it. Well, because this guy, Joe, was doing like stalker behavior, he got a permanent ban it was basically almost like a restraining order. So he was not
Mhm.
allowed to go within 10 feet of her, and it was a permanent block. And when you have a permanent block like that, your offspring are also covered under that block.
Which
So
is why you couldn't
there's,
see the child,
you
just a
couldn't
shape,
see the
right.
child as well. Well, when she passes away, the block on her is gone, so he can now see his child.
Mhm.
So he waits until Christmas again because he goes back every Christmas. Because remember, she left her job, she put in a notice, didn't leave
Mhm.
any information. Oh, and when you have someone blocked, you cannot contact them, you can't
Mm-mm.
call them, nothing goes through at all, absolutely
You
nothing.
you don't you can never see them again, like,
No,
literally never see them again. They're a
can't
white blob.
contact
In
them.
every picture, even if there's a public picture, if you look at it, you won't see them. You'll see a white blob. Like, they are completely removed from
Yeah,
your
let me see if
life.
I can pull this up really
Yeah.
quick. I had a picture of, so another thing too is that when when the night when they find out that the girl is pregnant, she finds out first, of course. They're
Mhm.
having some of her fellow coworkers over
Mhm. And there's a
from her
couple.
job.
Yeah.
They're a couple, and this is when she's like heavily drinking. And when he first gets blocked after they argue about keeping the baby or not, he goes to her work because he's like, okay, I know where she works. Well, that couple walks out after work and they're like, no, she put her notice in like 2 weeks ago. She didn't leave any forwarding information, nothing. Nobody knows where she went. So the only thing that he has that he knows about her, like she moved different, she doesn't live in the same place, she doesn't, nothing. He has no way of contacting her. But again,
Mm.
he knows every Christmas she goes and spends that day with her father. So
Mhm.
after she passes, the block is lifted from his child. So he's getting excited. I'm going to be able to see physically my child. Well, when he goes, the little girl's playing in the yard. She's got her back to him, and then she turns around, and now if you haven't seen the episode, the character we're speaking of, Joe, is Caucasian, and the little girl, and so is the mom, she's Caucasian as well. The little girl turns around and she's Asian.
Mhm.
Well, the
Heartbreak.
coworker
Damn you, Charlie Brooker. Just damn
was
you.
Asian, the man, her
Yeah.
coworker.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
So
terrible. Mm.
it's just like, why? And he loses it, right? Because why
Of
wouldn't he? Not
course.
only
Hey.
she'll never talk to you again, it was an abrupt, like we could just have a conversation. This doesn't have to be a deal breaker. She not only left the relationship, she left his life, left no trace of her, no way to legally contact her.
Then had
He's
the
thinking,
child anyway. Yeah.
she knows that he thinks that's his kid.
Just right. But
So
she
I
probably
vote too, she's the asshole.
yeah, she's oh yeah, if this was Am I the Asshole, she's definitely an asshole.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, have the conversation. Say, I made a mistake. I don't want to have the child, or I do want to have the child. Or, hi, I'm just not into you that much. I want to have his child because I love the other guy.
Right.
Like, whatever. Have the adult conversation. You know, like this guy was hanged out for 6, 7 years. It was pitiful. And then when Charlie did
Right.
that, I got really upset because he was upset. His world turned upside down. So did mine. I'm watching it and I'm going, damn, like that's
It's
just
horrible,
so
isn't it?
wrong on so many levels. I just,
Right.
Charlie, this is why Charlie and I need to talk. Charlie just did me in. I couldn't take it. I was just like, damn,
It
like
was it
that's a
was it
twist.
was pretty it was pretty horrible because psychologically so, right? Even if that's not enough to find out um that your partner doesn't want to have the child, you really do, which that's a whole different conversation. But that she's been emotionally freaking psychologically stringing you along this whole time. A
Mm-hmm.
mind if you will. I mean,
And I'm sure she, in her own way, thought that was the fastest, quickest way to extradite him from her life and to cause him less pain. In some warped way, maybe that's what she was thinking, but it didn't turn out that way. It caused him more pain than the truth would
it
have,
really
I think.
did.
Longer.
I don't think we know what happened to the father of the child.
No,
Mr.
and I don't care.
Sandra?
And at this point, I don't care because
Right.
this guy's so tormented. I'm like, great, because if she would have kept in touch with him, no, I would have just lost it. No, he was happily with someone else. Remember, he was with another woman, and they
Yes.
were together.
Her friend, her fellow coworker.
Her
She set
fellow
them
friends,
up.
and they were married, and they looked like they were happy. So I think it was unrequited on her side. And then she chose to have the child on her own. And because you never see him as part of any of it.
No.
Just the grandfather. And it gets sadder from here, because not only did Charlie do that to us, show us technology we can't have, make us hate John Hamm, who we adore, and then he goes and does this to that nice guy Joe, who just seemed like a just affable good guy. Yeah, he drank a little, he was partying.
Oh,
But the
Joe. I'm thinking of the grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does this to the guy, right? And then he kills the girl, and he can finally see the child. So he decides to bring her a gift, right, JC? And
Yes, as you can tell in my avatar, and you can probably hear, I was telling you before we went on stream, right? If anyone can hear this in the background, we have owls in our neighborhood, and about this time every night, they like to venture. I'm sitting on my back porch. It's very nice out in South Carolina. But now the owls are back, and they are talking to each other. So,
but that's nice. They can. Maybe they'll be on my side, and they want to talk to Charlie too, because this is
I'm
just all
just
wrong.
hoping they don't get the night confused with Saturday night, because sometimes they do. Meaning that it'll be more than just regular hooting, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah. I have live owl porn.
Great. You're gonna boy, Saturday's gonna be so much fun. You're sending it, right? You can't just dangle that. Don't do a Brooker. Don't just dangle that in front of me and not send it.
I can give you the audio, but I cannot see them. It is very dark, and they're very nice and real trees here.
Hey, I'll take what I can get at this point.
That I can explain that away to my neighbors. Like, what are you doing? Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to record owls having sex for my friend that I've never met in real life. I don't know if she's real.
My internet fantasy bear friend. Oh, by the way, she's a bear. Wears cat ears, but she
never seen her face.
Oh God! All right. Anyway,
I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and just a side note, I'm sure you guys have seen. I have a picture on screen of the block in the picture that we were describing. It's not just in person. That's what it looks. And I have other photos too.
That's one of the pictures. When she blocked him, she just turned into that, like right in front of his eyes. It was like terrible, but
crazy.
So so now Joe, heartbroken, desolate, but excited that he finally gets to meet his daughter. Like, there is a little silver lining in his eyes. He may get to go see the daughter. Like, why wouldn't anybody let them see the daughter now? The block is gone. She's gone. He goes to the cabin to meet her because it's Christmas. He brings a snow globe, like JC said, a beautiful little snow globe, wraps it up, knocks on the door, goes in. Grandfather's not having it, huh? He is not having it.
Which, who knows if his daughter ever told him that, hey, I didn't tell him that this wasn't his kid. We don't know what he knows.
It was obvious that,
why, what are you doing here? She's not your kid.
Because he just saw her face, and he's desolate. He's just like, he's gone white. He's pale. His face is all slack. He's sitting in the chair, and what does he keep saying? I just want to see my daughter.
Right.
Like, my daughter. Like, where's my daughter? Like, that's not my daughter. Like, where's my daughter? Where'd she go? Like, as if she disappeared or something.
He's
And
just having a whole wrapping his head around
mhm,
everything. And meanwhile, people, this is just one of the parts, one of the stories of this entire episode. Remember, this all started with John Hamm's character,
mhm,
Joe, in this isolated place, which John Hamm's character is trying to get this story out of Joe. And when he's oh yeah, they're about to go mayhem right now. The owls, I can
mhm.
hear it. So you guys can hear it.
We get a
I
preview.
apologize. I have to do a trigger warning. There's live owl sex on my stream. Sorry about that, guys.
Mhm,
But so he being Joe, slowly starts to see that, wait a second, it goes kind of dim in the place where he's sitting with this guy. It's Christmas. He's telling him a
mhm,
story. It's 5 years. You haven't talked to me. Why won't you ever have a drink? You
mhm.
never drink with me. So he finally sits there and starts talking to him and has a glass of wine or whatever. Gets kind of dim and he realizes, he's like, holy crap, I'm back in that house. What is
Right.
this? What about our
'Cause
job? What job are we doing?
right
But
now,
he's back
that's
in the old man's, his
kitchen.
ex-girlfriend's father's kitchen, the murder scene, and then there's the
Mhm,
snow globe and there's the clock with the birds, and he's
mhm.
like, what the
And
hell is
that's
this? Where am
that's
I?
and that's when you tie in together that Matt had told this other little story about his former job training
Yes,
cookies, which are digital clones of people stored in an egg-shaped object like personal assistants.
like
It's
an
actually
Alexa.
it's like it's like Alexa but you. So like you know all your preferences. Like it's as if, you don't want to show anybody else how to do it because you can do it better. So just get another you and make it a slave in your house or whatever.
Right,
And that's what he does. He trains, you can buy a cookie of yourself to do everything that you don't want to do and all of these other things. But it lives in a little egg, kind of like in Ashley, Rachel, and Jack, the little
right.
person out. Yeah, kind of like that, but not, because it's actually a clone of you. It's not you. It is you 2.0. Like, but you still exist in
Yes,
a real body.
because
It's you without a body. Right.
this chick goes in, um, I don't even know if we have a name. We'll get to that. Yes, Miss Cassandra, I know you're, pardon me, confused. There's some killing here, right? Because we talked about the first
Hmm.
story where, well, first second story where
There's a lot
John
of death.
Hamm's
Yeah.
character is trying to
Murder,
help this
suicide.
guy hook him up. Yeah, and now we're on to the guy he's talking to is retelling his story about finding out his kid is not his kid and he's thought this all along, and now he just gets so angry because um the grandfather tells him to leave the house, and he just picks up the snow globe that he was going to give to the child who he thought was his daughter all along, and I finally get to see her after all of these years, and he
And
just
he
freaks
throws
out and
it.
hits him upside the head with the snow
Hey,
globe. So yes, my avatar is a murder weapon.
it's a murder weapon because he did, and he sat there, and he wasn't dead yet, and he sat there, and he got upset and he left. But then there's the really tragic part. The little girl doesn't know what to do. She's upstairs hiding because they were fighting.
Yes. Okay, now this part is a little bit confusing to me, um,
Mm,
because when he's retelling his story, he just says, he hit the guy upside the head and then he doesn't know what to do, so he leaves and goes on a
right,
drinking binge and whatever.
right. But
But
then they
when
show
he's
the girl. Yeah.
right, but he explains, when he's explaining it and confessing it to John Hamm's character, and John Hamm's character is saying, like, well, what happened to the girl? He's retelling what happened to the girl, and I don't understand how he knew that because he wasn't there.
Be- because he's been tried at this point. He already has been convicted of the crimes. Yeah. Or they're questioning him and telling him that she's dead and he can put it together, because that's why this whole thing is going on, right? So he has enough information if the police have picked him up,
Oh, I feel
that he
I
knows that
understand now.
the grandfather has passed away. So the girl comes down the stairs after not being called for dinner or whatever, and she goes down and she sees that there's nothing she can do. So she gives her grandfather his Christmas presents. She knows he may need help. I don't know if she knows if he's passed or not. She puts on all her snow gear and she
Right.
walks out into the blizzard, and she does not get very far before she can't see and goes under a tree, and that's where they find her when they come. Remember, this is a deserted cabin, like a desolate cabin, not deserted, but pretty far off, not near a lot of other cabins or anything. So it would be a little while before
Right. In the snow
anybody
on
missed
Christmas.
the
Actually, it was on
grandfather or the
Boxing Day
child.
when she
Yeah,
finally left.
which is the day after Christmas. It's the 26th of December,
Right.
right? Isn't it? Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
I
Anybody
think
know?
so.
I mean, I have a computer right here. I could look it up, but why? When I could just ask all of you.
Scotland. I think Boxing
My
Day is
other
the day after.
self-conscious in the chat. Because yes, okay, getting back to that, because I
Mhm.
had you off track. So John Hamm's job, like official job, not just a side hustle. Now there's sirens. I feel like
Yeah, because of the
let me
technology that
let
was
me mute
created
and you
to.
explain.
Okay, so John Hamm is part of the company that created the technology that puts people in these little cookies, or puts the clone of people in these little cookies. But unfortunately, clones don't like to do what they're told. So his job is to mess with their heads to convince them to do whatever the real you tells you to do. I know, complicated, but basically they show us a story about a woman who bought this technology, and she wants a clone of herself to run her whole house, get her dry cleaning, do her dishes, make her food the way she likes it, her coffee, set everything up, the music, everything
Her
perfect.
toast.
She would like it. Her toast, right? It all started because she doesn't like her toast. She likes her toast lightly done, and they served it well done. So if you want perfect toast, you get this cookie thing, and his job is to convince the clones to do what they're told. So what does he do? He tortures them. He puts them for years and years on their own with nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do, nothing in a room, all by yourself. You've got consciousness and you're alone, and you think it's been
Yes, because he
10 years.
can speed up time, even though he's
With the
not,
machine. Yeah, with the machine.
he's not
Yeah,
in that same time.
right.
So
Just
he
the
can
clone
speed it
is.
up to
Just the
go
clone is. In
5
the cookie.
years, 6
Yeah,
months, 1,000 years.
right. So
Yeah.
they invented cookie time. Like, you're in the cookie and they have their own cookie time. Like, they can make it go as fast or as slow as they want. And that's
Digital
very
enslavement.
important. That's important to know, because as you get on this is what he does. He messes with people's heads on purpose. Like, in somebody thinks he's some kind of psychological genius, right? And he's like messing with everybody. He knows
Right.
better than everybody. He can convince anybody to do anything. And he's not such a good guy, but it's his job. That's what he does. So now, right, JC, we got the story of kind of what happened with Joe. They're still in the room, right? They're still in the
They're
kitchen,
still
in the
in the
cabin.
room, and he
And we
gets him
start,
to confess. He
yes,
basically
because,
says, like, I confess, I confess. He's trying to get him
and
to.
we start looking around the room. And did you notice that the dinner that the grandfather was made is the same dinner that's sitting on the counter? And did you notice that the clock that they
I
kept
noticed
staring
the
at
clock. I
was
noticed
the
the
same clock?
radio. I didn't notice the actual dinner, but yeah, I noticed the
Yeah,
bird
it was
clock
over
for
to the
sure.
side. Yeah, I know. That was bizarre. Like, all of a sudden, these things are starting to like creep in, and you're like, "Wait, what's going on here? Like, are they sitting in this cabin, or
Yeah.
is this the same cabin? Like, what is going on here?" Like,
So then you notice after he says, okay, I confess, John Hamm's character is like, okay, guys, I got him to confess. That's it.
yeah, he
And
jumps
then
up like
he
it's Christmas. Jumps up.
disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So then this guy is like, what? What the heck just happened? And then he's completely alone. So then when you realize is John Hamm's character is using the technology that is used with the company that he works for. and it's the police are actually having him use it for their own benefit, because if you go back to the beginning of the episode, whenever he was trying to help that guy get laid, and he
Mm-hmm.
basically witnessed a suicide murder, didn't report it, had other people watching, like none
It
of
was
the
all illegal what
technology
he
was,
was doing.
yeah.
Yeah, it was all
So
illegal.
basically, the police, were trying to work out a deal with John his character, to get a confession out of this other guy by using this technology. So even though they've been in this cabin all along talking, they're both really just little cookie clones of themselves. That guy is really in
Mm-hmm.
a jail cell, and John Hamm's
Mm-hmm.
character is really sitting there talking to the police. So
Mm-hmm.
they're like, well, yeah, we worked out a deal. And oh, did you notice too, John Hamm's character is like, yeah, I've spent 5 years with him. Some would say spending 5 years with me is punishment enough. So he's trying to persuade them, like, hey, I did this. I'm good, right? Like, that's my punishment. But what happens instead?
Well, you really want to know? Because this made me a little bit happy.
Did it make you happy?
It did, because he was such a jerk what he was doing. So they decide that what he did, well, he still needs to be punished, right? I mean, you don't get to witness a murder and put
Oh,
someone
hey,
in a
Unveiling.
dangerous situation. They didn't even try to save him, didn't send people in. No, he hid the technology, tried to hide it from his wife, ran around like a little coward,
Right.
and didn't tell anybody, okay? And so they feel he still needs to be punished, but it'll be a little bit more lenient. Like he doesn't have to go to prison. But because of the peeping Tom issue, the technology used to spy on people
Right.
against their will, the penalty for
Yes.
that is permanent being on like a sex offenders list. And
Yeah, they
those
called it the
people,
register.
you register. You get blocked from everyone on the planet. No one can see you and you can't interact with anyone. You're in a world full of people and they're all just white blobs.
That sound
That
like
was his,
Charlie Brown's parents.
that's it. Want, everything. And it's Christmas
But
and he
you
has to go out
notice
there.
to other people, he doesn't show up as like the little white blob.
No,
He
he
shows up
shows
as
up
a
in
red
red.
one.
Because he's not even a nice little block. He's a red block. He is an
Scarlet
offender block.
letter
Right?
vibes.
Scarlet
Yes.
Redder. Yes. He is an offender. He's a predator. He's a predator block. So that's even worse. Because did you see how some people were looking at that block?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they can do anything to him, because it looked like he could have been harassed or something. Like, it looked like that guy, the one guy over there by the cart, was really going to throw
Who
something
was
at him or do
selling
something.
what? He was selling snow globes.
He was selling snow globes. I just, that part does tickle me, Charlie, when you do stuff like that. But still, I'm mad at you. Don't talk to me.
Don't
But
talk to
still,
us. I
I know.
apologize, guys, if I'm missing something in chat. I'm trying to go back between like the YouTube chat where I can tag people and the StreamYard chat where I can put comments up. So I apologize. I'm still not completely seamless in this. And I may never be, as long as there's owls.
I'm with you.
doing
Because
things in the
I don't even,
background.
you know what? I don't even have owls as an excuse, and I can't
Yeah.
do it very well. It's just I get distracted too easily. And I just can't. And especially when I'm all upset about Charlie's episode here. And I actually thought about this episode all week. I watched it last week, and I watched it
Yeah.
like before the weekend. And I have thought about this episode, and I kid you not, every day since. That's
Really?
And then, yes, I have. And then my so-called friend JC, you know what she does to me? As if Charlie hasn't messed with me enough
yes.
for
I
more
forgot
than
my
7
favorite
days. 2 days ago, JC drops the bomb on me. Hey, don't you think this episode is kind of like the Twilight Zone, The Lonely?
Mhm.
I'm like, what?
Mhm.
And she's like, yeah, let's talk. I'm like, oh God, oh no, what am I getting myself
Let
into?
me
But
add this back
mm,
to the stream. So let me
mm,
see. I
mm,
might make it
mm.
a little bit bigger. Oop, that's not it. Okay. So I want to have this
Rick-
whole presentation right because I'm an overachiever. But here we can see the picture on the left. Let me even do like present so it'll be bigger. Right over here, this is the scene that we've been talking about the whole
Mhm.
entire time. The first scene, they're in
At a
this
table.
cabin, they're talking to each other, and then this turns out to be the the father, the father of the girlfriend, the grandfather of the kid that he thought was his, but is not his. They're back in that same place.
Mhm.
This scene over here on the right is of the episode The Lonely by the Twilight Zone. And I
Mhm.
just kind of want to point out, like, not only the similarities here between, like, he's in a very enclosed, like a Connex box type of deal.
Yeah, it's like a yeah.
It's very, like, I don't know.
It looks like one of those shipping cargo containers that they
Yes.
just cut a door into and maybe a window.
Yes.
That's what, and they dropped it on an asteroid because he is a convicted murderer through self-defense, but they convicted him for 50 years and he's on an
Right.
asteroid
So
by himself.
he's punished as well. He's convicted of a crime. He's imprisoned, if you will, on some planet in outer space. And these people will come on a spaceship and drop off supplies. And if we haven't lost you guys already through all the Black Mirror stuff, I'm definitely about to lose you through the Twilight Zone stuff. Or you're going to love us even more. I don't know. You decide.
I don't know. It depends
But
on how freaky this bunch is because when it comes to this, we can get.
oh, yeah. That
Mm.
part, it wasn't as much as a comparison. So what Claire's alluding to is this little lady over here to the right is not actually a
A little
real
lady.
person.
She's not
So
a little
that's
lady.
kind of similar to the whole cookies situation. And now there is a freaking plane. I don't know. There's never this much action in my backyard at 9 o'clock at night. This is insane. Just like the other morning, I tried to stream and a bee attacked me, and someone was
That was scary,
wood chipping or
actually.
something. Maybe it was Charlie and his dang freaking
I
POV
thought it was
drone.
me. All I kept hearing was the bzz, bzz, and I was getting like really, I get a little nervous. Yeah, too much Black Mirror. The buzzing is not very good. I only like the good kind of buzzing. I don't like those bees.
Not the bees buzzing.
Not
We
so
are now
bees.
afraid of dogs, bees, like teddy bears either make us mad or sad. So depending on, if it's me or Claire.
Well, robot dogs, I'm definitely not down with no
Yes.
robot dogs. That's for sure. That did it.
No.
But I'm also really like now I'm going to be looking at John Hamm cross-eyed for a little while, and I don't know. I don't know. I have a really great episode for next week, and I'm mad at Charlie, and I don't know.
It's
He better
hard.
do me
I
right.
understand because again, remember when he lied to me, and I had to keep moving on. I had to move on to next week's episode. I had to just put it in a little box, put it in a little.
Listen, I'm all for the fun and games, and Charlie can mess around with me like that all he wants, but leave me at the end with a smile. That's a rule. That's a bear rule. It is written in code.
Well,
Mess with
it
me.
kind of seemed like you're a little happy with him being permanently blocked. So
I am thrilled at the idea of the technology. If I only knew a genius that could make this for me, I'd be the happiest damn bear on the planet.
Careful what you wish for, my friend. I'm sure we're not too far away from it. Too far away.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be. I'll be the first one to get blocked with that damn thing too. Watch. It'll be like, yeah, you wanted it. Here you go. Here you go. Go on, girl. You're gone.
It's really.
Charlie,
sorry,
he be saying, you say my name too much on stream. Yeah, Charlie be getting me with that one.
Jeez, you know what? Hold on, sorry. Let me see if I can pull up the next. Not this. So the other similarity that I noticed, dun dun dun. Again, we were saying that this chick is actually a robot. The people who dropped off the supplies to his planet, and they could only stay for so much time or they would miss their window of opportunity to take the spaceship back to Earth because everything's orbiting and meteors and stuff in space. And so
Mm-hmm.
he would always like ask them to play cards, like, just come hang out with me, just come hang out with me, just, let's do something. I never get to see anybody. I'm banished to be lonely forever, which is another theme that I think was pretty consistent in this White Christmas Black Mirror episode, is that kind of like you were saying earlier, I can't remember if you said on or off stream, but that what is worse, right? And I'm using Claire's words here, to be around a lot of people and only be blocked by one person, or to be trapped in this isolated Alexa type thing as a clone, or to be blocked by everyone. So you're completely surrounded by people, but you're
But
completely isolated at the same time.
right, like Charlie, this is what did it for me. How
Yeah,
dare you? How dare you, Charlie, do that to
it was a
me?
mind
Those
F for
oh,
real.
it is. See what I'm talking about? Like, and everyone thought this was going to be a nice, cozy little episode. Like, it's only a couple of stories. What could it hurt? Oh
Yeah, a
God.
couple of freaking they all seem so separate, but they all tied together. Um,
Well,
so yes, I'm sorry if I hope I'm not like scaring anybody by this like robot
oh,
face
that's
here.
just the robot face got
Yeah,
shot off, you know.
it's
And
just
the thing is, the guy was so dramatic in this episode about it. He was a good actor too, and he was just like, "No, I got. She's kept me company for 11 months. I would have went crazy. She must come with us. She must. She must." So they shoot her face off, and he's like, "Okay, let's go." It's just like, boom, done. Decision made. I'm out of here.
yes,
It was a little
done.
cold.
It was really quick, right? Like, no, I
Yeah.
can't live without her. Okay, shoot. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
shoot
That's
her
it.
in the
I
face
would
with that.
like to know, though, for those of you in the chat, please help me here. Of those three scenarios that JC just mentioned, if this was you were going to get blocked, I mean, you were going to be the definition of like lonely. Which of these lonely scenarios would be the loneliest? Would it be being a clone of yourself, locked in a cookie with nothing to do but make your own toast for the other person and take her and play their music and wake them up as yourself? You have full consciousness that you're yourself, and all you get to do is whatever they tell you to do in this
And
cookie.
you're watching yourself knowing you did this to yourself.
Right, you bought it, like you did this to yourself. That's the thing. And then, or would it be worse to be the man on the asteroid who has 50 years to live alone, and only 4 times a year some delivery people show up with food and supplies, and whether or not your pardon has been things, and they come in this
Right.
really cheesy rocket and everything, and they can only spend 15 minutes with you. They won't even play a game of checkers with you
Right.
or anything. And you are completely alone. It is an asteroid. It is looks like a desert. You know how those cheesy black and white movies,
Right.
whenever they're
It
on
was
an
very
asteroid, it is
similar
the desert.
to the opening scenes. Again, neighbor's dogs, just completely random. The opening scenes of the Black Mirror episode, where because it's all like white with the
Uh-huh.
snow outside of his little
Mm-hmm.
cabin
Just
imprisonment.
black and white.
That's the first thing that made me think of when I started watching this Twilight Zone episode. So sorry. And that I had already seen the Black Mirror episode of White Christmas. So when I watched The Lonely, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like that Black Mirror episode. Oh my gosh, he's punished too. Oh my gosh. And I don't care. I'm not even going to look it up to see what Charlie said about this, if this was even a nod to this Twilight episode. I am not going to have him lie to me again because I know it's true. There's just absolutely no way that it can't be uh, a nod to this episode. I mean, the whole series is like the Twilight Zone. It's just a modern
Mhm.
day Twilight Zone. So I'm kind of wondering not only the connection between these two episodes, but I'm kind of wondering if there are any more that are like any more
I
Black
don't
Mirror
know.
episodes that are like Twilight Zone episodes that I just haven't caught on to
Well,
yet.
well, then out of those scenarios, the two we just mentioned, plus the one being blocked, in the whole world of people, no one can see you, and you can't ever again speak, touch, or interact with another person, although you can see them. Which of those three is the worst, do you think, JC?
I honestly think the one where you're a clone of yourself in a trapped in a space that's white and you can't sleep, you can't eat because you don't have to, because you're just code. You're not real, but yet you are real. And you can't talk to anybody, you can't interact with anybody. I don't even know if you can die. Like, I guess if someone deletes you, but you can't even ask if someone to,
You
get
can't
you out
even,
of your
yeah.
misery. You can't communicate
Mm-mm,
with anybody.
mm-mm.
I
That's right.
personally, when I know I felt the most claustrophobic and like I was suffocating when I was watching those parts. So for me, that's worse. What about you?
Okay. Me, I think, well, that would be, I think being alone, it is true. You can be alone in a room full of people if you're not connecting with anybody, right? If
Yes.
you're not connecting with anybody, it doesn't matter. Loneliness, it doesn't matter the environment that you're in. It's something you feel internally. It has to do with connection and being, relating to other people in a different way. Somebody gets you or they don't. There are different
Yes.
levels of it. But to me, the most mind bending, awful thing I could think of was being that sentient, conscious version of myself
Right.
in that cookie, because you have full consciousness, and he proved it by how pissed off they were when they arrived. They're like, what are you doing to me? I don't even have a body. What is this? Where am I?
Right.
What's going on? Like, they are totally themselves. I would be that pissed off. I would be that girl. I would be
And
that man.
defiant, right? She's like, "Oh,
And
no,
defiant.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
just push random
what
buttons
do you
and
think?
think
You can
random
just,
thoughts."
right, like, I'm better than that. You can't get me to take care of me. Like, I'm not me's slave. Like,
So
I
he
like
set
me.
up time for her just like he did for the guy
the
in
the
jail,
reason
and
that,
mhm,
yeah, that's what proved that they had consciousness and sentient being, because when you proved up the time, they were able to be manipulated into cooperating. They
oh, that's
were
a good
able
point.
to be manipulated into, it making time wouldn't make a difference if you had no consciousness or sentient being. You wouldn't give a
That
whatever,
is true.
right? If you
Right.
wouldn't care if you had
It wouldn't
something to
affect
do.
you.
Right. So to
Wouldn't
me,
affect your
because of
psyche.
that, right, because of the way they were able to be manipulated and their psyche changed, and he was able to do all of that, turn them into digital enslaves of their own consciousness. This was bizarre. This was the most warped thing. Charlie, this is what did it. This is where you crossed the
It's
line. This
crazy.
was it. This was the last straw, Charlie. I'm telling you, send me that technology or we're
But there
done.
are some similarities in this, and I don't know if either of us has claimed this one, if it's yours, or not, but the episode that's like, Star Trek?
That's my next one Sunday, so good luck because I'm
Well,
doing
then
it.
there you go. No, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
USS Callister.
Yeah, the
That's
USS
very similar.
Callister.
It's
Yeah.
it's like
Mm.
it's along the same lines for sure. Absolutely. Um, and then the ending scene of everything, right? So
Mhm.
John
They're
Hamm's character, we're back in the police, department, I guess, if you will,
mhm.
and he's negotiating his terms. I did all this for you. He gets blocked, yada yada. So the real Joe is in a jail cell, and the police go to him and it's like, hey, we got your confession, that little cookie clone thing we pulled out of you, confess to everything, we know everything that happened, because he wasn't speaking. He wasn't speaking to the police officers, and I don't think it was just out of defiance. I think he was mind fucked from all that he just went through and drinking himself into a stupor, and just, I don't think he could deal with reality. So they're like, no worries, you don't have to confess anything to us. We got your confession. So then the most effed up thing of all, in my opinion, because they have the power, the authority. I'm assuming there's no regulations on this because they didn't have to check with anybody or their higher ups or anything in order to do this. But remember, his subconscious is still back in that, not subconscious, I'm sorry, his clone cookie of himself, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is still back in that cabin
Mm-hmm.
and still in that little egg looking Alexa thing on the counter. Do they just delete him? No.
Mm-mm.
They sit there and make it Christmas every single day, which is the day that he, found out his daughter was not his. When he finally gets to see her after the block, they make it Christmas Day, not for one day, not for 2 days, not for 5 years, not for 20 years, but 1,000 years.
Yep.
2 police officers, one does it, the other agrees, like, nah, just keep it like that. They
Right.
play the I Wish It Was Christmas Every Day song over and over.
Mm-hmm.
He sits there and breaks the radio. It still plays the music because it's all simulation.
Mm-hmm. And it still brings the radio back.
He can't end his life. He can't
Mm-mm.
get out of there, and he has to stare out of the window of the cabin and see the
The
white
girl.
snow and the girl lying dead
Yeah. Now
in the
he can
snow.
see the girl
Yep.
because he remembered and he confessed, and so now they put that memory there in the room too. And that was really cruel. That one was cruel
Yeah.
because
1,000 years. I who can even fathom? I can barely fathom 100 years. A
mm-hmm.
1,000 the same
Yeah,
day.
listen, I was having trouble with the guy on the asteroid with 50 years, like, or
Right.
or even just a few days in that egg, trying to make myself happy with toast would totally mess up my head,
Yes.
So,
Especially they didn't put any butter on it or anything. It was just,
yeah, no, but toast discussions are serious business. I found out, man.
oh my.
Man,
Is it
you want.
more intense than pineapple pizza?
No, because I had that conversation and we actually compromised. The pizzas can be cut in half. You can have pineapple on half and not on the other half. Like, so that was worked out. It's
All
kind of the
right.
same thing with sardines and all that other stuff. That was able to be worked out. However, there's usually toasters have 2 or 4 spots, right?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
what if you like your toast like only lightly done and they like theirs almost burnt?
Oh. You either have to
Yes,
wait or deal with it.
it's true. So who gets the cold toast?
I mean, not me.
These are serious issues. These are the life questions that we ask on
Yes.
JC's channel. This is what the do good letters is all about. I said
And
it.
owl shenanigans.
And Al shenanigans that are coming over to my channel on Saturday, along with spider porn and,
Oh my goodness.
hopefully a bunch of naked avatars. Hopefully my naked bear squad will be all back together.
Yes.
Hopefully. I have hope. But
No.
I
Pineapple is
had
okay, just not on pizza.
I did have pineapple sans the pizza last night. I had it with salt and chili flakes. I had a bowl of it before I went to bed. It was very good. Yeah, it was good. Oh
Sounds
man, it was.
disgusting.
No, it's not disgusting. You need to, don't you know unami? You need the savory flavors of a bunch of different things. You need salt and sweet and hot. You put these things together.
I think I'm okay.
Mm.
I'm not a
See,
very adventurous eater. You can write
Well,
that one down, Nikki, if you're still here.
I guess I eat like I drive, all over the place. Like I cross the lines, I pass the cars, I don't stay in my lane. So there you
Yes,
go.
these are
That's
issues that have destroyed relationships and marriages.
yes, it's like the
Absolutely.
toilet paper. It's like the toilet paper roll. Yes.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, there's only one right way to do it. I don't care what anybody says. If you put it on the other way, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. I don't even care how you eat your pizza, but you put that toilet paper roll on
I'll just
the wrong way.
let that
Then
one slide by.
mm-hmm,
I read something the other day that in order to help people remember which one is correct, beards are awesome, mullets are not. That's how you think of the toilet paper.
This is true. Beards are awesome. Beards are
Mullets
awesome.
not. Even though I think mullets are back in style right now. I don't really quite know why, but hey, I'm old, so I can not like it.
I got news for you. Always is with me with the fruit and spice thing.
I see that.
I'm on the side. You know, you think
so sorry for both of you.
I'm not just a weirdo over here. I think this is good. This is good stuff. I'm trying to help you here, JC. I'm trying to help you.
I'm
Come
just
to
not that adventurous.
Well, it's okay. You're allowed not to be.
Not
It's
my
fine.
taste buds. Not my taste buds.
It's
So
okay.
next week, USS Callister, is that it?
Yes, Callister, the USS Callister.
That's going to be a good one.
Yes, the gaming Star Trek episode, which it was really good.
It was a really good episode.
I can't find anybody saying anything bad about it. It was a good episode. If you like to get messed around by Charlie Brooker on a regular basis, this is a great episode, people. If you want Charlie to yank your chain from beginning to end, and not only for the normal 48 or 49 minutes, he did it for 74 damn minutes.
Right.
He even put the extended version on the end of it to make sure we got a good oomph out of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. It was just, I thought as far as like storytelling goes, it was very rich. There was a lot to it. And sometimes watching this episode, I felt like, oh yeah, I forgot we were telling this part, or oh my gosh, yeah, it was just that you were that enthralled, and it held my attention so much that and there was so much to it, so many layers to it, that you kind of felt like you were watching so many different episodes in one.
It was, and the acting was superb, and the way they tied it all together. Listen, I wouldn't have so much to say if Charlie didn't do a good job. All right, so I might be upset with Charlie, but damn, he's damn good at what he does, because it was a brilliant episode. He just really twisted, but you know what? I kind of like it. You know, I'm a little weird. I kind of like when Charlie messes with me like that, because you know,
I feel like you are not alone in this.
No, I think I'm not.
Company with you on this,
right? It kind of hurts good, Charlie. Like, you did a good job. You made it hurt just right, because I am upset with you, but you will live. You'll get over it. And here's the clincher, Charlie. You messed with me. You yanked me around. I do like to be entertained. I like the twists and turns. I like all that. You made me think even after I wasn't watching it anymore for almost more than a week. Right. Like, I'm not kidding. I've been thinking about it every day. And
it is very thoughtful.
You know what, Charlie? And worse than that, I'm mad at you. I don't even want to talk to you. You just mess with me, but I'll be back, Charlie. Like, you made me want more. You devil. You awful devilish man, you creative writer that you are. I want more. Like, Jesus. I can't help it. Damn you, Charlie. Right? Damn you, Charlie. But I really wouldn't be this upset if it wasn't so damn good. It really was good. So if you haven't seen the episode and you've never seen Black Mirror, you could go ahead and start with this one.
Yes, USS Callister is very good.
It is excellent.
Well, this one too, but
this one was good.
We will be ready on. We will be ready. We will be over on Claire's channel.
If I still have a channel on Sunday, we'll be there at 9:00. if I still have a channel on Sunday,
there's not too many owls hooting.
Well, if there's not, Well, I did just do a stream this week on masturbation with Jen, and we told YouTube to go F themselves quite a bit in that stream. So
Well,
I
we shall
I don't
see.
know. We shall see if they come looking for me, and we'll see. Um, hmm,
Well, thank
but
you. This was awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being in chat. I tried at least, if I was reading your comments, trying to put them on screen. There was just a lot tonight.
mhm. There was a lot to tell about the story because
Yeah.
there's people that do come to the streams that we want to include them and they don't watch the episode. So, but it was such an involved story, but always creative. You always have these great takes on it. And I'm so glad we were on the same page here with the sentient beings and stuff like that, because that was really
Yeah.
warping me. And I'm glad I'm not alone. And Charlie's got issues. There's a whole gang of us now. Mm-hmm.
There
We
are.
want, we want some answers,
We're all
Charlie.
messed up.
Charlie, call me. Call me,
I
Charlie.
know
I
he
need
listens
answers.
because
Yeah.
I have technological issues every time we stream for
Well, I
this
don't. Well,
series.
why would he
So
pick
I
on
know
you?
he's
You're so
listening.
nice. No, I don't think so. Because why would he pick on you? You're so nice to Charlie. I'm the one that's out trying to hang him out to dry all the time. Just come on,
True. I
in
did call
between.
him a liar, though.
You
You
true,
want
and
to
I
read
do.
that?
Yeah, it says Claire Bear. The journal article is titled "The Existential Hope and Existential Despair in All Apocalypticism and Transhumanism." Oh my God! Oh, I have to read this.
Another plane
You.
is going overhead. I do not live in a place where planes go.
Uh-oh.
I
Are
just, I don't
you
understand what's
look?
happening.
Charlie's writing a new episode just for
I'm
you,
telling you,
right over your
owls,
head.
planes, bees. Oh my, I don't
Add
understand.
add a couple of spiders, and you got mayhem
No,
Saturday.
thank you. I will save
know.
that for your
I
channel.
really do want to read that always. And I'm sorry I keep shortening your name. It's like a first name. I feel like we're friends. We bond over
On a
this
first name
existential
basis.
stuff. We are. I want to read that. The title has me hooked. The title has got me drooling.
Yes, I'm sure it does. Existential
It
hope and
does.
extra. No, I understand.
At least I own my nerdom, my nerddom, or
Again,
my, I do.
you're not alone in this. I am. Dear God, I don't know if that was fireworks or gunshots. So anyway, we might want to wrap it. Not here. That was in the distance.
Okay, damn, that's a way to end the stream. I don't know if that was fireworks or gunshot. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, people.
Welcome to
See ya.
South Carolina. I don't think those were the good kind of gunshots. So.
Oh, this was too much fun. Do I have to go? Do I have to? This was
I
fun.
know. Well,
It's like-
I might need to head back inside. I'm sure I'm all right, people.
Thank God we've got more of this coming on Sunday and every Sunday until we're done with Black Mirror. Then we need suggestions on what to start next, because I don't want to stop.
Right?
I don't want to stop. I want to be a nerd on YouTube.
No. Well, I'm sure we'll find something else. I'm sure.
Do you think there's a market for naked bear nerds on YouTube? What do you think?
I would think so. I mean, there's something for everyone on YouTube. If not YouTube, we can create it. Build it and they shall come. Pun intended.
I tried that. Then I made them take all their clothes off.
All right, guys. Thank you, Claire, for being here. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. I had a blast. Thank you, everyone, for being patient and putting up with us as we went all over the place.
So sorry. Yeah. All right. See you guys later on. Bye.
Bye, all.